it's nice to define these things. A lot of times we just say phrases willy-nilly in society.
Yeah.
And the more you learn about therapy and self-help, you realize that a lot of it is just undoing negative patterns that you have. Because our natural state is a loving state, is an abundant, euphoric state. That is who we are. Everything else is in the way.
Yeah.
And then you go to like a trauma healing seminar and you're like, you're not really learning anything new. You're just remembering and then observing what you've been doing incorrectly. You're like, I shouldn't repeat this negative pattern. And you undo all the bullshit. And you're like, oh, so me, I'm just a happy, loving person just on my own? With no need for something to cause it. It's really things that are causing me not to be happy.
Yep.
Right? It's almost like saying, it's funny enough, because even though as I have a Red Bull right here, a Red Bull is signifying that I need more energy, but I think the better way for me to approach this is what am I doing that's causing me to have less energy to begin with, right? Had I just gotten better sleep last night, I wouldn't need this Red Bull right here, right?
That's a great reframe.
Right?
For energy drinks, caffeine, man.
As I'm knocking one down on the podcast, right? But nonetheless, I can still be aware of my own bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Me having a case of Red Bulls in the fridge is in a way giving me an excuse to have poor sleep, because I know if I have poor sleep, I'll still have Red Bull to help me.
Yes.
They're kind of connected.
That's so good. Zach's going to watch this one. He loves caffeine.
Right? They kind of go hand in hand. It's like, fuck, one is giving the excuse for the other. I was like, I know I can not get much sleep because I'll just hit a Red Bull before the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? And not to say that having a Red Bull is bad or good, it's just that they're linked.
Yeah.
They're definitely together, my interpretation of it, right? So I'm trying to live in a way that empowers and rejuvenates me the best that I can. So I try to realize what's causing me not to be in a good mood in the first place. Instead of trying to force a great mood by taking a Molly pill, how do I just show up to the party happy to begin with?
Oh, that's such a journey that I'm on currently. The whole just cleansing my body from and really empowering myself with sobriety, because I feel like in today's culture, it's like, it is so easy to just do all of that. And just coming back to my raw essence of who I am without the need to alter myself in any way, and just love myself in my natural state of being.
Yeah. For me, it's been a journey. When I was younger, I didn't do anything. In my 20s, I tried everything. I got into drinking, tried coke, tried Molly. And then in my late 20s, I got into psychedelics and shrooms. And that got me off of everything else. So now I just microdose shrooms and smoke weed. Basically never drink. Maybe a glass of wine here and there. But my best stuff comes out when I'm sober. And I feel best being sober when I'm like allowing what is to be.
Yes.
So if I wake up tired and I feel ashamed of being tired when I wake up, then I compensate by doing other shit. Oh, I feel really tired and I shouldn't be tired, so therefore let me pop an Addy, let me take a caffeine, let me smoke some weed to bring down the Addy, let me do it. And then it becomes this whole fucking concoction.
Yeah.
Or if I just wake up and just say, I'm tired, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just tired today. And let me just answer all my calls really sleepy. And once I accept that and just be okay with being tired for the day, somehow that gives me more energy. So what I'm trying to do is little by little is, instead of, at least for me, I work better on a positive direction than on a negative one. So instead of telling me not to take Adderall or not to drink Red Bulls, I just tell myself to snowboard in the morning.
I love that.
And then therefore I don't need to, right? Like one takes away the other, right? So instead of telling myself, don't take Molly when you go out, how about this? How about you hang out with friends, call your mom, have like 4 amazing conversations, and be really nice to the Uber driver on the way there. Yeah. By the time you get there, you'll feel like you're on Molly because you're on the momentum of just having a good time. Hey, how are you? Brazzy. There's your mid-podcast kiss. Okay. Down. He's like, well, speaking of which.
I love that.
But you know what I mean? Because every time I've done drugs when I was younger, it was a means to an end.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't feel social. I want to feel social. So let me take Molly so that I'm like the happy guy at the party. But then I'm like too happy and being a little too touchy with everybody. How are you? You know? And holding the handshake a little extra long. Right? And then eventually I realized that, no, I just want to be in a happy momentum.
Yeah.
Going into it. So I try to figure out how can I just do the happy momentum first. Right? It's almost like, if I could go back and tell my younger self, every time I tried coke when I was younger, how about this? Do 100 push-ups first.
Yeah.
And then tell me if you still want to do coke.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say don't do it. Do 100 push-ups first.
Yeah.
After the 100 push-ups, your heart's gonna be pounding. You're gonna be like, I don't even need it. Because what I really like is my heart racing. Right? Right? When I was younger, then you do a line and you're like, woo, I got a business idea. Let me tell you guys about it, right? And it's like, okay, so instead of making that feeling bad, let me just make the path to that feeling bad.
Yeah.
So it's not that I shouldn't be having the coked up feeling. Is that what's the other way to get that? Oh, a 6 a.m. snowboarding session? I'll feel alive.
Yeah.
Wake up and shred, do a whole 2 hours of writing, and then get on a 9 a.m. Zoom call. You would have thought I did a bump because I'm feeling so alive. Yeah. Hey guys, I was just shredding mammoth, and now let's talk about the spreadsheets, right? So it's not making the feeling wrong.
Yeah.
It's just how I was getting there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not completely sober yet. For now it's just the weed and the sometimes shrooms, but it's getting better.
No, yeah, same. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm same. I'm on the same journey. I've given up weed completely recently, which has been a huge thing for me because I was a daily smoker since I was 17, and I came to the realization that I don't know if it's because also the weed nowadays is so freaking strong, but like it was just not serving me in any means. I would try and smoke to be creative and like get work done or just be creative and like make something, and I couldn't like I could just being high. And then when I'm out and I'm smoking, I feel like I'm not as talkative or as natural in my natural state of being as I am normally. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop. But I never claimed to stop like forever in a sense. And that's another thing. It's like, well, okay.
I don't want to stop forever. I just don't want to do it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah. I'm just like giving myself the grace right now to really fall in love with like my natural state and feel like I don't need it. Because that was something that I made so many excuses as to why I needed to smoke weed all the time. It was like, I need to smoke it to go to bed. I needed to smoke it to be hungry sometimes. And then that was like, okay, well, whoa, I can't even eat without smoking weed. Like something's wrong here. And I just used it as a clutch for so many different things, and realizing that like I went from being a teenager to a grown adult to now being the age that I am, and I want to be like free from the shackles of like feeling like I need it, you know?
And then you smoke it so often that being sober becomes a new high.
Yeah.
You're just like, whoa, what a trip.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And it's funny because I feel the same way. I think I could do without a lot of the harder stuff. Because those things, they're a lot more dangerous now. You could have the wrong powder and just die. But they don't serve me. Now I associate more disadvantages than advantages to them.
Oh, 1,000%.
Right? I've had enough negative experiences on coke and Molly where I'm just like, don't need that anymore, right? But I think with weed and with shrooms, what I would like to do is honor it more by not accessing it every day.
Yeah.
To where when I do use it, it's more like a ritual. That would be like the ideal way to go about it, where it's intentional. Okay, cool. On this day for the special occasion, I'll do the thing, you know? And again, everybody's on their own journey. Yeah, mushrooms changed my life. They felt like the most natural, cleansing, actually helpful drug ever. Because when I've done Molly in the past and other things, they felt like a bit of a lie. Like whatever I was feeling.
Synthetics.
Yeah. They felt like whatever I was feeling plus Molly, plus Coke or alcohol, the next day I would regret whatever my actions or whatever was, right? There would be some level of regret. Whereas with shrooms, it brought me closer to the truth, right? I could be like on my way to a rager and then take shrooms and realize, you know what? I should just like stretch, clean my house and call my mom, right? It just leads me to different choices.
Exactly. I think that's why it's so medicinal. Because it's so medicinal because it shows you, and I think that's why a lot of people have like a hard time with mushrooms, or like because it really shows you whether you want to see it or not, what matters, like whether you're at a party and you're like having this whole experience of like, I need to get out of here right now and like work through some of the emotions that I'm feeling, understand why I'm feeling them. It's a way of enlightening your brain and creating new neural pathways as to like what needs to be attended to in a sense. It's like, it's almost like when some people say they get really paranoid, I mean, not me, because I was just habitual weed smoker forever. So like I wouldn't get paranoid while smoking weed. But a lot of my friends and even Zach would be like, I get so paranoid smoking weed, I can't smoke weed. And I'm like, but what is it? Is that paranoia, or is that like a thought that comes to you where you're like, I should be doing something other than this right now?